So good morning, everyone. I'm not going to talk much because we definitely want to give the stage over to our amazing keynote speaker, Libby Duane Adams, who we're so fortunate to have with us this morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you're tuning in from. So, a quick story here. I first heard Libby speak earlier this year live and in person at Alteryx Inspire, and I was totally blown away by her talk. In fact, so much so this is true. As soon as I walked out of hearing her talk, I called Brandy and I said, Brandy, I don't know if she's going to be willing to do it, but we have to invite Libby to speak at the Data Career Summit. Like, she would be the perfect person to speak to this audience. And so we are so incredibly grateful that she has been willing to give her time to give a keynote today. I'll give just a quick bio for those that don't know Libby. I know many of you do. And have heard of her in Alteryx. But before she speaks, here's a little bit more about her. So Libby Duane Adams is the Chief Advocacy Officer and co-founder of Alteryx. So one of the largest data and tech companies in the world. Very, very cool. She is one of only a handful of female founders to take a technology company public, along with her founding counterparts. And currently at Alteryx, she's responsible for strengthening, upskilling, and reskilling efforts for Alteryx customers, scaling the presence of the Alteryx Spark program, and furthering diversity and inclusion in the workplace. Everyone in the chat, please give a very warm welcome to Libby Duane Adams. Welcome, Libby. Let's bring her up onto the stage.
Thank you, Dustin and Brandy, very much. It's great to be with all of you, and good day to everybody that has joined our conversation. I'm very, very excited to be here with all of you. As I was just telling Dustin and Brandy, I returned yesterday afternoon from London. I had the privilege this week of spending time at Big Data London and also meeting with some amazing Alteryx customers in the city. And so now I'm back. And so it's great to have all of you here today. What I'd like to do first is give you maybe a little bit of background about myself, a little bit more than what Dustin just shared with you, and then jump into a little bit more about this amazing journey that we are all on around data and analytics. A little bit more about me. I was born and raised in New York, actually right on Long Island, attended Castleton University in Vermont, little tiny small school up in Vermont, and graduated from Castleton with a degree in business administration with a focus in marketing. That was the passion that I found very early on when I was at university, understanding the studying of behavior, people's buying behaviors, purchasing behaviors, and just human behavior in general. My very first job out of school, my very first job out of school was to get a job. Quite honestly, I was not one of those students that said, I'm going to university to get this kind of a degree because I'm going to get that kind of a job. It was really that ability to land that first job that has been the hardest part of my career. But the first job was actually in customer support with a tech company. And so that was really the start of my journey. And in customer support, I was working with data. Yes. And I can tell you that was not part of my vision when I started. It was really all about understanding and learning as much as I could while I was in university. But started my career in customer support with this tech company, helping our customers at that time be able to use data to be able to answer questions, to be able to drive insights. And I'll say that the path that I followed was mapped out really through perseverance. It was really all about that ability to be able to follow my passion, to be able to land that first job. Before I landed that first job, as I was graduating, there was about a week between finishing finals as a senior and the actual graduation ceremony. I called my parents and informed them that I was going to be going to Yellowstone National Park after graduation. Their thought, or my mother's thought process was, well, of course she's going to come back to New York and get her first job. And I called them up and I said, nope, I'm going to run with some friends and I'm going to go to Yellowstone National Park. I have to share with all of you, that was one of the 2 best decisions that I ever made in my life. And it was a lot of years ago. Probably a lot of you were not even born when I made that decision. But it was one of those decisions that I made because it was really all about learning. It was all about exploring. It was all about experiencing things that I hadn't experienced before. And I said to myself, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? The worst thing that was going to happen, because I was going out to the park, I was going to drive out to the park, drive across the country from New York to Yellowstone National Park, which is located in the northwest corner of the state of Wyoming here in the US. I said, the worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to get there and I won't be able to get a job. If that happens, the worst thing that I'll have to do is get on a plane, have enough money to get on a plane, and then fly back to New York and land a job. But as luck would have it, and as perseverance would have it, I landed one of the best jobs in the park, which was working in one of the gift shops at the Old Faithful location. And Old Faithful, I'm not going to go into the history of Yellowstone National Park, but Old Faithful is one of the most popular locations in the park. First best decision I ever made that I remember in my life. The second best decision that I made in my life was to leave a perfectly good paying job after a great career, worked in New York for 5 years and then moved to a data company that was delivering technology in the state of Connecticut, and met my future business partner at that company. And long story short, we were watching our customers struggle using our technology at that company. And Dean and I would have conversations around the demand for better technology and the ability to enable business users to be able to use data to drive insights. Second best decision I ever made was when I walked out of a perfectly good paying job at this company and said, okay, Dean, let's see if we can start something. Let's see what, excuse me, let's see what happens. And our mission and our vision, as we had talked about what we would do if we started our own company, was to build technology that was easy enough for business users to be able to use and enabled them to access any and all data assets to be able to drive analytic insights. That really was the genesis of Alteryx. And having that willingness and courage, I'll say, to step out of a perfectly good paying job to found Alteryx back in 1997 with Dean and Ned was, again, the second probably best decision I ever made in my life, or at least that I can remember. But it's been an amazing journey. Just a little bit more now about Alteryx. When we founded the company in 1997, we had no software, we had no customers, and we were self-funding. But we had a vision. We had a passion to be able to serve our customers with technology that was easy to use. And our mission, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner, right above the Volkswagen bus, is to enable every person to transform data into a breakthrough. And today, Alteryx is the analytics automation company. We have more than 8,400 customers around the world. We're doing business in 90 countries. We are serving 48% of the Global 2000. Those are the largest businesses across every industry in the world. We are serving almost 50% of the Global 2000. Companies like HSBC, Ford Motor Company, Vodafone are examples of Alteryx customers. Today, we are 2,600 employees strong and growing. And the important part about what we do is we're enabling our customers to take on their own digital transformation, that ability to be able to use data, to be able to solve with data. The other important ingredient about the Alteryx customer, which I'm going to open up to all of you, is our Alteryx community. It's an online platform, open and free to all of you. Check it out at community.alteryx.com. But the reason that I'm calling out the community is that community is a very engaged and interactive group of data professionals, leaders that are changing the way their businesses are doing business with data. The community is very, very integrated and very, very engaged. So if you have questions about data analytics, if you have questions about what people do in their jobs as data analysts or as data scientists or as leaders of data teams, this community would be happy to talk with you about what their work is like. And so again, I say it's open to all of you and it is free. One of the opportunities that we see as a company, and this slide gives you just a quick sampling of Alteryx customers. As you can see, across every industry, there's brand names, really no matter what country you're dialing in from today, you'll see that there are companies that you're going to recognize. Some of them may be your employers or companies that you have a passion or a desire to work for. But you can see that data analytics goes across every industry. It is not just a particular industry like financial services or pharmaceuticals that are doing a lot with data. It is every industry. It's telecommunications, it's entertainment, it's technology, it's retail. Every industry is trying to understand how to make more with data. And the other part of this is when you look at any of these companies and you dive deeper into the organizations, it's every department. And you'll see here across the slide, across the top, I have a number of chief customer officer, chief financial officer, chief marketing officer. Every one of those companies that you saw on the previous slide, their C-suite and all departments led by these C executives are trying to figure out how to do more with data. So if you're in marketing, if you have a passion for marketing, you may be using data, especially with digital marketing and all of the data that we're all generating every day. As a marketer, you may have this vision of, how do I predict which of these leads are going to convert into a customer? Or which of our current customers are likely to be spending the most with us? If you're the chief revenue officer, you're looking to be able to predict sales performance. If you're in the chief data officer team, you're going to want to be able to do cost analytics or network analysis. And it's that ability to think about all of your passions, all of your desires in what kind of jobs either you currently have or you would like to have, and think about how data is going to apply. Because data is no longer a skill that is reserved for a few. Data skills are now required in the workforce, literally. And you may not work with data 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 365 days a year in your job, but you have to be comfortable working with data. And one of the quick sets of analytics that we did is we went out to LinkedIn and Indeed. And this is just US-based data, but we have data for Europe and selected countries in Europe and selected countries in the APAC region as well. But if you look at LinkedIn or Indeed any day of the week, that first line on the left-hand side of the chart on the left-hand side, jobs that are listed that have the word analytics or business analytics in them. On LinkedIn, there's over 150,000 jobs that are listing analytics somewhere in that job description. Indeed, it's over 200,000 jobs containing the word analytics. Business analytics, almost 100,000 of those on LinkedIn and almost 50,000 of those on Indeed. You get a sense for the demand, the interest that businesses have to be able to hire, for these skills. And if you jump to the right-hand chart on this slide, you'll see what the median salaries are. These are pretty significant investments that companies are making in these particular job skills. And so you want to be able to think about how you, wherever you are on your journey, you may still be in school, you may be thinking about school, you may be thinking about maybe a new career. Doesn't matter where you are, this is an opportunity that's open to you. And I'm now going to share a program that Alteryx has built that will help any of you on this journey, no matter where you are. And it's the Alteryx SparkED Education Program. This is a program specifically from Alteryx, and our mission with the SparkED Education Program is to democratize data analytics by empowering every learner with the skills to question, understand, and solve with data. And when I say learner, I am not referring only to students. I am referring to any of you that are on this summit, anywhere in your career journey. As I said, you could be thinking about going to school. You could be in a university program. You might be thinking about, what is my major? What do I really want to do when I graduate? Or you may be in career or thinking about going back into career after maybe taking some time off to raise children or take care of family members. Whatever that stage, wherever you are, this program is open to you. Today, the SparkED program is offered, and we have active learners in more than 50 countries around the world, and we've already impacted more than 150,000 learners globally. And by the way, from the higher education institutions, we have more than 1,000 of them today already teaching with Alteryx in the classroom. And when you bring SparkED into your learning model, wherever you are on that learning journey, we are providing free Alteryx software. It's free Alteryx designer licenses to you. If you are a student, you get a 1-year renewable license, and that's also available to faculty members. So if you are a faculty that wants to be teaching, or maybe is teaching data analytics, and you want to raise the bar and bring Alteryx into your curriculum, you're more than welcome. Both educators and students get a 1-year license. If you are a career changer or an independent learner, you're going to get a 90-day license for free. And by the way, this is the exact same software that all of those customers that you saw earlier on the slide are using. More than those 8,300 customers around the world. We also provide and recommend the Alteryx community to be able to connect with our global community of industry leaders, hiring managers, and analytics professionals that are going to support you and provide guidance to you, as well as inspiration on your learning journey. We also provide free training and teaching materials to all of you as an independent learner or as a student. And if you're an educator, we actually have recommendations on curriculum available for you as well. And these programs, these training materials are all online, they're all virtual, and they're all free. And the best part about it is, on this learning journey, the learning journey is designed to point you in a direction, which is to Alteryx micro-credentials and Alteryx certifications. And the reason we point you to those is because those companies that you saw earlier are out on LinkedIn, they're out on job sites searching for people that are carrying their Alteryx certifications. This allows you to move that interview process along quicker, because you're showing them that you already have developed the skills, you're already on that learning journey path. And so it's really, really important that you know where you're starting, but what the first milestone might be. And that first milestone may be an Alteryx micro-credential or an Alteryx certification. And we offer those to you for free and keep you moving on that learning journey. As I said a few moments ago, with the SparkED program, it's all about collaboration. It's about being a learner. It's about engaging with educators if you do happen to be in either an online program or in an educational institution. And then it's engaging with those customers, those businesses, those nonprofits, those public sector organizations that are all on their own digital transformation journey to bring more data and more analytic insights into their work and into the way that they're operating. And they're looking for talent to be able to empower their own digital transformation journey. And so it definitely continues as you think about where you want to go with your career. How can this play a role in that? And then the last thing I'll share with, two more things that I'll share with you, and I'd be happy to take some questions, Brandy and Dustin, if there are any out there from the great audience. The certification paths are built intentionally with flexibility because we know your time is really important, is really valuable. And so when you start the use of the Alteryx product, you're going to start with training and learning. And you can start by taking a foundational micro-credential, that first micro-credential, which is easy to take, and it's a small bite-size credential. It's also optional. It's not required. You can stay on that learning journey. And the first segment of learning is about 90 hours of learning at your own pace. But you can break that 90 hours down into smaller chunks and take these micro-credentials along the way. We offer 4 micro-credentials that are stackable. If you complete all 4 micro-credentials, that will equal your core certification. Or you could go through the learning journey and go right for your core certification. We then also offer the advanced certification, and that's also for free. And then we also offer an expert certification and a predictive master certification. And these are all available to you as you think about your learning journey. And let me just share one more fun way to learn. And this is open to all of you. Datathons are an amazing opportunity. Some of you may have already participated in some, whether it be a datathon concept or a hackathon concept, where we're running both virtual and right now they're on campus. They're being hosted by universities. They're bringing data challenges live into their environments because they want to promote these opportunities for anyone to be able to learn and advance their skills with their co-students. They want to be able to showcase their skills, and they want the students to be able to showcase their skills. It also opens up the networking opportunity with hiring companies. And we have companies like Disney, Goldman Sachs, Bank of New York, Mellon are all examples of organizations that are using these datathons to get to know you as a learner, as a person that's advancing your analytic skills, and getting that opportunity to meet you, talk with you, tell you what they're hiring for, to validate and verify your learning journey. And so the datathons are open and available. They're free to all learners. So I'm going to bring up a QR code that you can scan if you're interested in learning more about them. We actually will be hosting one of our datathons next week in Southern California. We'll be hosting a second one in October in New York City. And we actually are going to be promoting virtual datathons. And so it would be great if you scan this, jump into our database, and we'll keep you posted on datathons that are coming to either a city near you or virtually, which would then be open to all of you to be able to take advantage of. And so I want to first say thank you all very much for your time this morning. It is amazing to see the interest and the passion globally for data analytics. And Dustin and Brandy, I'll stop there and see if we have any questions from the audience.
For sure. Thank you so much, Libby. That was awesome. We've had a lot of questions come in. Oh, there she is. Okay, awesome. There were a lot of questions in the chat. I'll just bring up one example on the cost of the SparkED program. Can you just remind everyone, what the cost is? You mentioned is free. Is it free for students, for career transitioners, for everyone? Can you speak a little bit to that?
Absolutely. And yes, the SparkED education program is free for learners, for students, for those career changers. And the license that you get as a student or as an educator is 1 year. It's a 12-month license for free. You get full access to the software and full free access to all of our learning curriculum and to the certifications. And those licenses are also renewable. So as a student, you may be in your sophomore year or your junior year, you can re-up those licenses for the next years while you're still in university. Educators get free licenses as long as they're teaching in the classroom data analytics. And then for career changers, yes, it is a free license. It's a 90-day license for you as a career changer. And you, again, have full access to the full functioning software as well as all of the learning curriculum to take you through those learnings and work on either your micro-credential or your core certification. And this is global. So whether you're in London or Singapore or Chicago, it's open to everyone.
Very cool. Awesome. That helps address there were many questions and a lot of interest about the program. So I think that is very helpful to many in the chat. Brandy, I think you have a question as well. I will turn it over to you. If not, I've got another one.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Justin. I'm like out of sorts. If you have the question prepared,
yeah, for sure. Totally. Yeah. No. So there was a question I thought was good that came in on you talked about the datathons. Someone asked, can you join a datathon if you are not a student, and how?
Yes, we host datathons that will bring others, the career changer or that independent learner, into those datathons where you do not have to be a student. If you can go back to that QR code or jump to the Alteryx website to learn more, we'll give you more details. Thank you. Yep. Give you more details about the upcoming datathons that you could join if you're not a registered student per se.
Perfect. Very cool. Yep. So there's the QR code for just one moment, and then we'll take one more question. There was a good one, and this question I think we get asked, Brandy and I, a lot. Libby, I'm sure you do as well. But here's someone that kind of is experiencing this impatience in landing their first job, transitioning into the field. Is there a certain timeline, or what is your advice to someone that's kind of getting a little bit impatient? And what encouragement would you have for them, and how should they think about that impatience that they're feeling?
Yeah, I wish I could predict for you, who's ever asking that question. I wish I could predict for you what the average is of how long you'll have to keep looking for a job, but it's going to depend on the market that you're in. It's going to depend where you're looking. But what I would say is don't give up. I remember my first, from when I returned from Yellowstone, it was probably about 6 months before I landed that first job. It's all about networking. Please, please, please take advantage of the Alteryx community. You can join an Alteryx user group. It may be in the city that you're in, or it may be in a city that you wish to live in. Get to know others in those markets. Join the Alteryx user groups. They're virtual and they're in person. It'll give you exposure to companies that are in the local area that are using the technology. You can talk data with anyone at these user groups. It's a great learning environment. The other thing that I would say is keep advancing your skills. Just because you may have an Alteryx micro-credential, or maybe you already have the Alteryx certification because you got it while you were in school, keep working. We offer weekly challenges on the Alteryx community. Jump on the community. Take those weekly challenges. It's only going to help you advance your skills. And it also is a great fun environment because you get to talk with other people that are solving the same question, and you'll see how they thought about solving it and how you thought about solving it. It'll help you network. It'll help you develop your skills at the same time. And so that would be my advice, Dustin, is take advantage of this extra time that you have now, and keep learning. I live a philosophy, even at my age, every day I want to learn something new, literally every day. And so my hashtag is never stop learning.
Typing into the chat right now, every day I want to learn something new, hashtag never stop learning. Was that the right hashtag?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, perfect. I just push that into the event chat. That is awesome quote and hashtag to round out your keynote with.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Libby. We're super appreciative of you taking time to give this keynote. I know many others are too. I would encourage everyone watching the event live or watching the recording afterwards, please follow Libby. Please take advantage of the SparkED education programs. You heard her talk about how they're free for all. Take a look at the SparkED education program resources online on social media. Follow everything they're doing. They're doing such amazing work. And Libby, you're a huge inspiration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dustin and Brandy, and thanks for including us.
For sure. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Bye now.
Bye-bye.